Let's now write the recursive function. Note that you will only understand the recursive function if you thoroughly understand how the iterative function works. So let's write the recursive. Your main function is going to be the same. So same as iterative. However, your function is going to change. It's going to be int factorial of int k. This remains the same. I'm going to write int f. So any recursive program is going to contain two steps. The first one is the base case, and the second one is the recursive step. So to help you understand this more, let's take 5 factorial, which is 5 times 4 factorial. Again, 4 factorial is 4 times 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 times 1 factorial. Now, as soon as you reach 1, that is where you stop. Because if you try to go to 0, you will get the wrong answer because, or your answer would be 0 because you're trying to multiply 0 with what all you have obtained before. So we are going to stop at 1, which is why your 1 is your base case. So I can write if k is equals to 1, then I say return 1. Okay, so that's the base case. So that's base case. Now the recursive step is as follows. If you see, 5 factorial is 5 times 4 factorial, or n factorial equals n times n minus 1 factorial. So initially, if you are calling the factorial function by passing the number 5, you are doing the number times the number minus 1 factorial. So n factorial is the number n times n minus 1 factorial. So your recursive step would be f equals k times factorial of k minus 1. If you notice here, your function is calling itself, albeit it's sending one value which is less. So here you had k, now here you're calling with k minus 1. So this is recursion. This is your recursive step. And finally, we can write return f. Now let's take an example and understand how this whole process works. So I'm going to assume that I want to find the factorial of, so fact equals factorial of 5. So that's my initial function call. So k is going to be 5. So let me write this down. So you have fact equals factorial of 5. So this is going to make a call to the factorial function, and k is going to store 5. Now let's go through the factorial function. You have int f. So let me write that down. Int f. Next, you have the if statement. The if statement is false because 5 is not equal to 1. So you execute the else part, which says f equals 5 times factorial of 4. So you have f equals 5 times factorial of 4. And after that, you have a return f. So let me write that down as well. Return f. Now, as soon as you have 5 times factorial of 4, this is where you're making a new call. So this goes, it makes another call where k is 4. Again, write the contents of the function int f. The if condition is false. Therefore, this is going to be 4 times fact of 3 and then return f. Next, it's going to make another call where k is 3, int f equals 3 star fact of 2. Remember the if condition fails, so we execute the else part, and then you have return f. Keep going. So k is 2, int f equals 2 times fact of 1 and return f. Let's keep going. When you have fact of 1, it's going to make a call. So k is equals to 1. Now let's go back to the function here. K is 1 and you declare the variable f. So int f. Next, the if condition passes. So you have 1 equals to 1 is true. So it's going to return 1. So if condition is true, so return 1. When you execute the return keyword, it's going to return back to the place from where it left off before by sending the value 1. So this 1, you're going to return back and store it here. So this essentially becomes f equals 2 star 1, which is 2. Next, you execute the second return, which is basically return 2. This 2 is returned here. Therefore, f equals 3 times 2, which is 6. So return 6. This 6 is returned here. So you have f equals 4 times 6, which is 24. And you say return 24. This 24 is returned here. So you have f equals 5 times 24, which is 120. And then you have return 120. Finally, your 120 is returned to your fact. So fact becomes 120. Remember, this fact was in your main function. And then after that, you can display the value of fact right here. So this is the whole process of recursion.